Today I'm gonna be making the internet's most viral desserts, but I'll be turning them teeny and giant. From the world's tiniest popping boba to a cake pop bigger than my head, a massive Dubai chocolate bar to a candy crystal you won't believe. What have I got myself into? Can I pull it off? Let's find out. My favorite chocolate bars, Dubai chocolate bars. First step to making Dubai candy bars is piping the decoration that you see on the top of the candy bar. So in front of me, I have 3 different size molds. I've got melted green and yellow candy melt, zigzaggies back and forth. With the yellow, we do zigzags the opposite way. Cut the tips a little bit larger as we decorate the regular candy bar. Here we go, little drizzle. We cut the tip even more, and now some more zigzags. Here we go. These are big zigzag, big, 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 big. Look how fun that is. Now we're gonna create the chocolate shell. For the tiny one, we're gonna need about a tablespoon of melted chocolate. In this huge bowl over here, I've melted a ton of chocolate. And then let the excess chocolate drip right out. For our regular chocolate bar size, we're gonna use about 1/3 cup of melted chocolate. There, once it's coated, flip it upside down again and let the excess drip off back into the bowl. The last chocolate bar was for PMS. This size chocolate bar is for PMDD girlies. You guys know what's up. All right, and here goes nothing. Oh, no way, oh, no way, oh, no way. Oh, you kinda gotta steer the ship. This is the most Caraíba I've ever made in my life. So I have 2 portions here. This is for the giant size, and then this one is gonna be for our regular and our tiny. Time to put this delicious filling into our chocolate bars, starting with the tiny bar. So I'm just gonna take a tiny spoon. I'm gonna try to keep the filling in the middle of the candy bar, and I'm using a tiny offset spatula to just spread it nice and thin. This is so fun. I love this. Mike, I'm now a tiny baker. I added a little bit more. This is what it looks like. Perfect. Now I'm gonna set it off to the side. Now fill the regular size chocolate bar. Oh, and I'm gonna put a bunch in here. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Let's fill this giant candy bar. Oh, okay, never mind. Just kidding. I'm just gonna scoop it in. All right, I had this as a backup. This is so heavy. Oh, yeah, okay. We are getting ridiculous. We got the chocolate bars filled. Now we're gonna add our last layer of chocolate to seal these together. I'm gonna start with the teeny one first. With an offset spatula, I'm just being really gentle. I don't wanna move the filling. We just want the chocolate to connect with the chocolate. And again, just be a little bit more careful, a little bit more gentle. Now you know what time it is. Time for the giant bar. Okay, same idea. All goes in the middle. Nice. Remember, just be gentle. You just want to do the gentle, moving it around. All right, I'm just gonna finish smoothing this out, and then we're gonna let this sit. It's probably gonna take a couple hours, you guys. And ta-da, we did it. We made tiny and giant Dubai chocolate. Okay, we have to break it in half and see if we see all the beautiful filling. I wanna even know, can you hear it? I don't know. All right, ready? Let's crack open the tiny one. Oh, no way. I didn't hear anything, but it is gorgeous. You guys, it worked. The filling is perfect. And now we've got to taste it. I could literally eat 1,000 of these because they are so good and so small. It's like if Dubai chocolate made a fun size bar. Let's crack open our regular one and see how we did. Every time's a little different. Let's see. She is beauty, she is grace. This is the perfect ratio for me. This is just everything. Oh, Mike, not the water!
Hot. It's a hot stove.
We won't include that part, but Mike, are you okay? I have died and gone to heaven. If you make these at home, use a quality chocolate because it makes this so good. How am I gonna break this in half? I saw this in martial arts, and I think this is the way to go. Oh my gosh, this is baking and martial arts coming together. So I'm visualizing it's going right through. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, through! I went too hard. Dang it. I've been looking forward to this all day. Method a little better. You take a little, chip of chocolate, scoop the filling like a salsa. The ratio is way off. The chocolate is way too thick, but it tastes delicious and it actually worked. We made the chocolate bar. This looks better than some of the chocolate bars I see at the stores. Who professionally manufacture these or like these types of bars? Incredible. Now, crystal candy. I've made a ton of these on my channel. It's so much fun. You can make them different flavors, but I've never made a teeny one or a giant one. First thing that you're gonna need to do to make candy crystals is to soak your agar-agar. So over here in a large sauce pot, I'm putting in some agar-agar and water. And then this is my largest sauce pot for the giant size candy crystal. And I'm gonna be putting a lot more agar-agar in. 8 cups of water. Okay, we've got both the pots on the stove. I have them on about a medium heat, and you've got to stir constantly and bring them both to a boil. And then we're gonna add the sugar. We're gonna add sugar to each pot, then bring to a boil again and cook for another 2 to 3 minutes. We've got our first batch of crystal candy off the stove and it is hot, so be careful. Now we're gonna add our flavoring. So I'm gonna add strawberry and vanilla candy oil and a little bit of citric acid. Once you got this mixed in, we are going to pour it into our tins, starting with our teeniest tin. And over here, we're gonna color them with the different airbrush colors. So I'm just gonna take a teaspoon of our candy mixture, fill it up. Oh, okay, maybe a little bit more, maybe a couple teaspoons. There we go. Woo, that's getting hot. Okay, we've got to move fast because it sets quickly. So we're gonna do a little red, a little orange, yellow, green, blue. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it here, let it cool. I'm gonna set this one off to the side, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with our regular size crystal candy pan. Look at that. Now it's time to pour our giant crystal. Just be extra careful because this is so hot. I'm gonna be using a bigger baking brush this time, and I'm just gonna drop that on and then push it all the way down. You really want it to move. All of our jellies have set, and now it's time to cut them into crystal shapes. We've got this massive giant one over here, and it looks so cool. Here's our regular size one. I usually make them in a smaller little casserole dish, so perfect. And our teeny one, look how small this is. All right, so we really want a small little section here. The goal is to get a very small rectangle. That's step 1. Oh my gosh, is that too small? Oh my gosh, it might be too small. This might be too small. This is too small. What have I done? I think we need to go a little bigger. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna chop this off. The top, the bottom, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna cut one more. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Over here, I've got a tiny little baking sheet lined with a piece of tiny parchment paper. Then we're just gonna take your tiny crystal, we're gonna place them over here to completely dry out. There we go, boop. Okay, last little step, we're gonna cut a little triangle here at the top. Just the tiniest cuts. Like, literally perfect. I can't. Usually these crystal candies take about 3 to 7 days to dry, but I have a feeling these ones might just take a day. Now for our regular crystal candy. We're gonna cut a rectangle again. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. Again, at the top, we're gonna cut a triangle. And then we turn it onto the side and you cut a triangle at the top again. For the final touch, we're gonna do a little kind of beveled edge. I didn't do this with the teeny one, but I'm gonna do this with our other ones. This one's looking good. Time for our giant one. I'm just gonna place it, boop, right here. I've never cut a giant crystal. I'm so excited. Give us a nice flat edge. Woohoo! Then make 2 diagonal cuts at the top. Doesn't need to be perfect. It's a natural crystal, but I'm gonna do a little bit of touch up. Giant crystal is looking good. Now I'm just gonna transfer it over to our tray to dry. And I don't know how long this is gonna take. I assume a long time. Whoa, whoa, buddy. Bloop. I'm gonna leave it out at room temperature to harden. The regular crystals usually set up in 3 to 7 days. Our crystals have dried and now it is time to try them and check them out. Now, our regular crystal set up perfectly. 7 days, ready to go just like normal. The teeny crystal, 1 day, only took 1 day. But this giant crystal, you will not believe, it has been drying out for 40 days. 40 days, you guys, and it's still wet on the bottom. It's just started to crystallize here. You get a little crunch on the top, but at the bottom, it's still wet. But let's try these desserts. Let's take a tiny bite of our tiny crystal. Here we go. I really can't taste the flavors. I can just tell that it's sweet. It just tastes like sugar in this really small amount. So let me try the regular one next. The flavor is so good and the texture is perfect, you guys. This is what you want. Crunchy on the outside and gummy on the inside. I don't know what to expect. So this is the pretty side. It kind of looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa over here. Look at that, Mike. Well, let's taste it. Oh my gosh, it tastes amazing. And you're actually getting the right textures in the front of this crystal, because the front of the crystal, this actually has hardened and you're getting that beautiful crunch and then the soft gummy inside and all those beautiful flavors. We have done it for crystal candy. Oh my gosh. This took over 40 days to make, so I wouldn't recommend actually making this, but I am surprised that it actually worked and it tastes good. And I actually got the textures I was hoping for, minus a little bit of stickiness in the back. Look how shiny that is. The only pro tip I have about making this candy at home is use flavoring, because it is delicious if you flavor them. They're kind of bland if you don't. Cake pops. I have made hundreds of these over the years, but never tiny or giant. Let's see how small and how big I can go. First step to making cake pops is we're gonna make a cake. So this recipe is from my cookbook, Nerdy Dummies. It's on page 27 and it is my rich chocolate cake recipe. First thing that you're gonna do, very easy, in a large mixing bowl, you're gonna mix together your regular sugar and brown sugar, which I've done over here already. Then we're gonna sift together the rest of the dry ingredients. Once you've whisked together your dry ingredients, we're gonna mix together our wet ingredients in a medium-sized bowl. Then I'm gonna whisk everything together before I add the water. I'm gonna add this last. Once mixed together, you're gonna pour all of your wet ingredients into the dry. This is why I love this recipe. It is so easy. It's literally just a dump and stir. You don't need any fancy equipment. Once the batter is ready, we're gonna fill our pans. In front of me, I have 2 round 8-inch pans that are greased and lined with a little bit of parchment paper so it won't stick. I have this little mini cake pan. We bought all these little mini baking things and it's so cute and little, and I'm just gonna try it because why not? I'm just gonna take a little spoon. I'm gonna fill it up about halfway. Oh my gosh, this is adorable. Okay, I'm gonna set this off to the side and then I'm just gonna eyeball it and evenly pour the batter between these 2 pans. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more cake than this, so I might double the recipe, but in the meantime, I'm gonna heat my oven to 325 degrees and bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. Now that our cakes are baked, we're gonna start with the tiny cake pop. I also have tiny baking tools. So here I've got a tiny mixing bowl and a tiny whisk. We're gonna put together our cake pop. So first the thing we gotta do is we've gotta crumble it. So I'm just gonna break it apart, and using the whisk, I'm just gonna use that to really break it up. And then once it's crumbled, we're gonna add a little bit of ganache. And I'm gonna take this little spoon and scoop in some ganache and then mix together. There we go. Perfect. We're gonna take a 1/4 wee spoon. Here we go. Boop. Like so. And then I'm just gonna roll this into a cake ball, a door ball. And then I'm gonna place it onto a baking sheet lined with a piece of parchment paper that I have right in front of me. So I've just got one of these little ice cream scoops, and we're just gonna do a heaping scoop, and we're just gonna roll it into a ball. I thought, might as well do one of these before we do the big boy. Oh my God, and look how nice that is. That's why we use ganache. This is so heavy, you guys. I don't even know how much this weighs, but this is our mountain of cake pop dough. The goal is we've gotta pack all of this cake pop dough into both of these, and I mean pack it in there. We're gonna put these in the fridge to chill for at least 2 hours. All right, I took this out of the fridge. They're nice and chilled, and I carved out this middle section in each of these for the dowel, our cake pop stick to go. And now what I'm gonna do is stick these together, and I'm gonna use this bowl to help me. Then this seam line right here, we're just going to press together. Once you've got this together, we're gonna stick in the dowel. So we're gonna chill this again, but this doesn't actually fit in my regular refrigerator because of this dowel. I just popped this out of our commercial fridge, and I melted some chocolate over here. And what I'm gonna do now is just create a little bit more stability by filling in all of the creases and cracks. And then to get it really smooth, I have one of these, and it's really bendable. It's lovely. For the regular cake pop, you're just gonna use a regular, normal lollipop stick. We're gonna dip it into some melted chocolate. Gently place about halfway through. All right, now the tiny. There we go. Oh my gosh, okay, here you go, little guy. They didn't sell the size sprinkles we needed, so we are gonna be making our own custom sprinkles. And you're just gonna pipe the skintiest line that you've ever imagined. That is the goal. These are so cute. Here are the tiny sprinkles that I cut up, and the medium ones, the regular, and now we're gonna cut up the big ones. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna make them about right there. Look at that. So pretty. We have giant sprinkles. We have giant sprinkles. Time to dip these cake pops. I'm gonna start with the tiniest one first. We're gonna get our cake pop and we're gonna submerge it, shake it, let the excess chocolate drip off. Before the chocolate has completely set up, we're gonna sprinkle on the sprinkles so that they'll stick. Then we're just gonna stick it into a piece of styrofoam and let it completely set and dry. There we go. All right, now we're gonna dip our regular cake pop. A lot easier to work with. I'm very familiar with this size. This looks gourmet. This looks like you could get this at Starbucks. Whew, and now I'm a little scared for the next one, the giant one. Mike, I might need your help. Bring in the giant cake pop. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate your help today. So if you don't have a mic, I don't know how I would do this. I think that this is a pouring situation, so I'm gonna pour and you rotate.
Pour and rotate.
Okay, that's the goal here. And we're just gonna do our best. I've never done this before. Wait, too fast, a little slower, Mike. A little slower so I can drip, a little slower. So too fast. Oh my gosh, Mike got excited and now oh no, Mike, oh no.
This isn't too bad.
Really? Okay, keep turning. Okay, so now, to make it as smooth as possible, shake it, tap, tap, tap. Yeah, just gotta shake, really shake it.
Don't drop it.
Just shake it. You gotta really do this. You gotta get in there. While you're doing that, I'm gonna sprinkle before this sets. Oh wait, let's get the pretty side first here, Mike. Don't worry about that back side. We did it. We made a giant cake pop and a teeny cake pop. My goal is to take a little hamster bite, so here goes nothing. I have to think like a hamster. I did it, Mike! That couldn't have been a more perfect bite, Mike. Like, I cannot believe I actually did that. I managed to take a bite of the teeniest cake pop, but how am I gonna manage to take a bite of this thing? All right, well, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm like using my teeth as a... Oh, I got it! Okay, you gotta use your front teeth to really hook in there, okay, like a beaver, y'all, and then do this. We got the cake pop. Look at that. Once you get your point of entry, this is... Bye, Mike. I'm off to lunch. Dee, 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 dee. Got my weight here, which also doubles as my workout kettlebell. Oh, and some squats. And some squats. And hinge and squeeze. And hinge and squeeze. Dessert and a workout. It's an amazing day. Wax candies. Now, I've never made these before, so I'm really excited for this, but I have tried them for a video. So we're gonna make these and tiny and giant versions. Most important thing about making this candy is the wax that you use. Please get Organic white beeswax. You want to look for all of these things. You want food grade, USDA certified. You want to make sure it's organic. You want to make sure it's triple filtered, non-toxic, pesticide free. I heat up the wax over a double boiler over on the stove, and I just moved it over here. I also put down a big tray. I want to work on the tray because the wax is a little bit messy. Okay, so I'm going to start with the smallest, the tiny mold. A little teaspoon over here. All right, we're just going to pour it into the mold. And then as soon as you pour it in, pick it up and dump it right back out. That fast. And look at that. That already made a lining, like a little shell. Okay, we got the first layer of wax down. Now we're gonna add our filling. These candies typically have a jam, so I have a lot of strawberry jam over here. Or you could actually use, I saw some people using sour ooze candy. I placed some strawberry jam in a piping bag to make this a little bit easier. And I'm just gonna pipe a little dollop. I'm using a toothpick. I'm just gonna spread it to be a little bit more flat. Boop, just like so. And then pour a little bit more wax right on the top and let it sit. Next, a regular wax candy with this really cool gem mold. I don't know who made this, but it's amazing when these gems are so universal shaped and look like generically a lot of different video games and fantasy things. For the medium-sized ones, you're just gonna fill them up, let them sit for about a minute, then dump out the extra. Then fill a couple of these with jelly, and let's do a squeezy one. And carefully close these up. Now this is gonna take a few minutes to set, so I'm gonna set this off to the side. Last but not least, our giant mold. This is gonna look so cool. Like, look at this, it's like a gem flower. We're gonna pour it in there, need a little bit more. Swirl it around, and we're gonna keep swirling it around for a couple minutes. That's pretty solid. Now we're gonna scoop in our jelly. Then you just wanna pour enough to seal up the top. I might have to put all of it, oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna let this sit, and then once it's set up, I'm gonna pop all of these out of their molds, put them in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and then give them a try. I'm so excited. Now I get to actually try them, taste them, see if I did this right. I've never made these at home before. It is my first time. Okay, here's the hamster nibble, and hopefully we get a good sound. Oh my gosh, I just have never been a fan of the wax, you know? Ooh, woof. Okay, let's try the regular size ones. Now I'm gonna try a sour flavor because these look fun. The taste is delicious. The texture feels like I'm at the dentist and they're putting like wax molding on me, or like, oh, the wax from the braces, the old school braces that I had in high school. I'm gonna give the jam one a try. That was the noise. That was the noise. I stand by this, that these are beautiful for the internet, but not for eating. No, it's more like art. All right, well, let's see if bigger is better. It's a whole mouth of wax. This is giving flashbacks to my days at the orthodontist and braces. Like, this is why you want to get the good wax, guys, because...
Maybe she needs another bite.
What?
Maybe she needs another bite.
Maybe you need another bite. Okay, I hate this recipe. All right, we had a lot of wins today. These candies are not my favorite. And I thought maybe if I made them at home and I used that good wax, this would be better. The answer is wrong. Popping boba is all over my feed, and I have made so many variations of this recipe, and I absolutely love it. First step to making boba, we need to make a boba bath. So over here, I have a ton of water, 8 cups of water, and some calcium chloride. So we're gonna add the chloride to the water. Once the mixture dissolves, I'm gonna pour it into 3 different bowls to make 3 sizes of boba. While that's dissolving, I'm gonna make our boba liquid, and it's mango. So here I've got mango puree. I'm gonna pour that into a blender, add some sugar and a little bit of sodium alginate. Last but not least, some water, and blend it up. We've got our mixture ready, and it's time to make some popping boba. So I put some of it into a squeeze bottle, makes it a little bit easier. We're gonna start with the tiniest popping boba first. Look at how cute these are. I don't even think there's a name for these, so I'm just gonna call it a micro spoon. If you've never made popping boba before, here's the technique. You're gonna dip your spoon first, and then I'm gonna put the smallest amount and then you dip it in, submerge, and shake, get it out of there. I got it. Not bad for my first one. To make the regular size, we're gonna use 1/4 teaspoon. We dip, use the squeeze bottle, whoop, and plop it in. Oh, a little lopsided, but that's okay. There she is. Boom, much rounder. That's great. Okay, then these are gonna sit for a couple minutes, then we'll take them out, but this one should be ready. I've got this little ladle. Look how cute this is. Okay, we're gonna take out the little boba. I'm just gonna try one right here because I've got two. It popped. It worked, and I got a little teeny bit of flavor. I mean, just like literally on the tip of my tongue. Let's see if it'll pop. And yes, look at that. It popped just like a gusher. All right, I'm gonna try one of the regular ones and see if this is set up yet. Oh my gosh, these are so good. Let's attempt to make giant boba. I'm gonna be using a ladle. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna submerge this, leave a little bit of the solution in there. And I pop the whole lid off. Okay, let's do that. Well, that looks a little weird. Oh, geez, I was gonna cut it out of here. It's looking a little, I don't know what that looks like, but not like a boba. Hold on, I'm gonna try again, guys. This is so funny. I'm not gonna do as much. And then right away, go in and cut. Cut. Rounder, that's rounder. Okay. It's round, Look at that, It's roundish. It does have a butt, but that's okay. At least it doesn't look like this. This one looks like it has lips. Let's see if we can go even bigger. We're gonna dip this. Let's get a little bit of that. Pour this sucker in there. Oh yeah. Here we go. And then right when it goes in, cut it free.
Beautiful.
Gonna let these soak for as long as they take. I'm just gonna move this over here. That's gonna be a minute. Here's the popping boba we made in different sizes, starting with teeny. I've already tried this one and it worked. We had success. We got a little burst of flavor. We got the texture right. I can't believe this is actually a thing. Like, you could make mini boba. And now here's our regular boba. It did it. It popped in the back. You didn't see like a gusher. That's what you're going for. We had success with tiny, we had success with regular, and now I'm gonna see if we've done giant. Okay, let's try it. Ready? Oh no, I did it. I'm so sorry. I picked it up in my nails. My nails clipped it and it popped, but look at this. This is the texture you want because see, it's got a skin on the outside and then the inside is still really soft. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat a little corner of it. That's it, I just wasn't delicate enough when I picked it up.
But Ro, what about your even bigger one?
Oh no. Okay, so you guys, this one sat overnight even, and it is just hot mess express. It never came together. I mean, it just looked like, it's terrible. I had such high hopes, but it just definitely did not work. I never got the consistency, the texture I wanted. It's a hot mess. Once again, here is everything that we made, giant and tiny. This video and this baking was completely ridiculous. This was so much fun to make. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to watch any other videos, you can click over here or over there. Oh. Thanks, bye you guys.